In this training, we're going to talk about how to overcome the MLM objection. So the MLM objection is people who may be skeptical on network marketing or have done network marketing. If they've done network marketing, bothering, they felt they had to bother their friends. Anything that is holding them back. This would be helpful to you, right? So if someone's asked you, is this network marketing? You always want to say yes if they're asking you. Now, if they don't ask you, I would not talk about it. Okay, I'll let the video explain it. If they do, why? Because don't ever volunteer more information than you need to do. Okay, don't ask, volunteer for more information than you need. But if they say, is this network marketing? Yes, you want to be proud of that. Second thing is you want to ask for their experience. Okay, what do they know about network marketing? So let's write this down. The MLM objection here. How to handle this. Okay, first you want to answer yes. You want to be proud of it. Okay. Number two is ask for their experience. Ask for the experience about network marketing. So if someone says, is this network marketing? It seems like you've been involved in network marketing. What have you been? What's your experience around network marketing? And be a listener. You're like a doctor. Think about your advisor, the doctor, right? You say, oh, do I have to take drugs? Do I have to take a painkiller? It's like, yes. What's your experience around painkillers, right? You're going to ask them about this. Doctor's not just going to prescribe you. They're going to ask you. Be a consultant. Ask for their experience. Say, maybe you had experience or one of your friends had experience around it. It seems like, what was your experience around the profession? Okay, now, you want to ask for the experience. Number three is you have to ask them, does it work? Okay, if it maybe didn't work for you, but was the profession work? Does it work? So the person can say, oh, I did network marketing like a long time ago. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I had to bother all my friends and family. So maybe it didn't work for you in the past, but as a profession, as a whole, okay, as a whole, does it work? You got to get them to see that it works. So they may say, well, yeah, it didn't work for me because I'm shy, quiet. I didn't know how many people to talk to. Okay, you say it didn't work because the products are too expensive, but my friends didn't buy them. But I guess it could work. So you got to admit that it doesn't work. Okay, now if they say that I'm not sure it works, you can say, well, there's a couple ways around this. Okay, a couple ways around it. Number one is if you can ask them, oh, I'm not sure this stuff works. If it doesn't work, how come there's so many? Let me ask you: are there a lot of network marketing companies around? Right? We did this in Malaysia, for example. Someone said, "Oh, I'm not sure network marketing works." Well, let me ask you: are there a lot of MLM companies in Malaysia? And the Malaysians said, "Oh yeah, there's tons of them." And I'll ask them, "Well, if it didn't work, why are there so many companies out there?" Right? So if it doesn't work, I have to talk about the number of companies. Right? Does it make sense? So think about this. Are there a lot of record companies out there? Not many. Are there a lot of cassette player companies that make cassette players out there? No, right? Are there any horse carriage companies out there? Not much, because it doesn't work. Are there a lot of car companies out there? Yes, because it's an industry that works. It makes sense? Okay, I dropped my marker here. Okay, makes sense? So you want to ask them, if it doesn't work, how come there's so many companies? That's one way to do it. Now, another way to do it, I normally never like to bring company names, but this is one of the few times I do. It's like, have you heard of this company called Amway? Yes, a lot of people have heard of Amway. Okay, if you feel your prospects heard of Amway. Have you heard of Amway? People are like, yes, I've heard of that company. So how long has Amway been around? It's been around, it's been around for a long, long time. Oh, I remember back when my parents did it, or I did it like 30 years ago. Amway's been around for like 60 years. Now, if network marketing didn't work, how could Amway still stay in business? Right? So they'll be like, oh yeah, I guess it does work. You want to get the prospect to say it works. Now, and they may not work for them. It may not work for their friends they saw or what they see or hear, but you got to get them to say, does it work? Okay, makes sense? Now you're going to ask them, right? Next question, what would it take for it to work? What, and this is important, what would it take for it to work? Right? What would it take for it to work? It's kind of like convincing kids, right? You just can't tell a kid something. But if you get a kid like, hey, what would it take to get you to do your homework? If you finish your homework, let's go for ice cream. Then they would do it, right? What would it take for it to work? They may say, well, you don't have to bother your friends and family. You don't have to be so pushy to your friends and family. What would it take for it to work? Maybe I don't have to be so pushy to your friends and family. Well, okay. Right? You want to find out what would take. Maybe if the products are cheaper. Maybe with an online system. Maybe there is. I don't need to travel to meetings. So, for example, these are. You have to listen for clues. As for the experiences, they may say, "Oh, I had to go to meetings all the time. I didn't have time." Yeah, I had met a prospect the other day. When you go to meetings in Los Angeles, it takes up 3 hours of your night. I need to spend time with my kids. I can't be driving 40 minutes, go to the meeting for an hour and a half, and driving back. It was just I couldn't do that. I did it for like a couple of weeks. I couldn't do it. My wife got angry because I was always away from home, right? So they say, well, does it work? They may say, yeah, it works. Definitely works. If you didn't, industry definitely works. I see a lot of people make the money. And I think most people acknowledge that it does work nowadays. Now, what would it take for work? Well, if I didn't have to go to these meetings all the time, it'd take up so much of my time. My wife got angry at me. It probably could work, right? So then, number 5, the last part, you want to show that you're different. Show you're different. And ask if they want to take a look. Ask and invite. Okay? So you want, the last one is, so just say the person didn't want to go to meetings. Didn't want to go to meetings. So if I could show you business where you don't need to go to meetings every week for 3 hours, but you could do it at home, would you be open to taking a look? Right? If your person says, oh, I don't have to bother my friends and family. Well, if I could show you a business where you could just use Facebook online using a phone, you don't need to go to meetings, would you be open to taking a look? Right? So this is how, and now the person still says no, yeah, we are not in the convincing business. Okay? If they still say no, we're not in convincing business, I wouldn't go push them any further. But this is how you handle the MLM objection. Okay, review. Number 1, if they ask you what it is, say yes. If they don't ask, don't bring it up. Don't ask about it. I would not bring network marketing up. I never bring network marketing up because the video, the tool that you use, they will bring it. Okay? But if they ask you, definitely say yes. Number 2, ask for the experience. What do you know? What happened? Number 3, you got to get some, does it work? As an industry, maybe it didn't work for you, maybe it didn't work for your friend or your family member, but as an industry, does it work? Number 3 is, if they don't think it works, by the way, it's like, well, if it didn't work, why are there so many companies out there? Okay, if it didn't work, or you can see the Amway. How long has Amway been around? It's been around for like 60-something years. If it didn't work, why do we still stay in business? We've been out of business a long time ago, right? Okay, next one. What would it take for it to work? This is the main one. What would it take? Okay, what would it take to work? And then you list it, and then on the last one, you show that, hey, show that this time is different. Whatever they say, number 4, you use it, right? So they say, oh, what would it take for work if I didn't have to travel so much? Well, if I could show you where you could work, do it online using a phone, would you be interested in taking a look? All right? So this is how you handle the MLM objection.